told you.
I'm not your perfect match?
Well, I mean, was he?
Oh my gosh, when you were au pairs together, were you dating? And did the family know?
No, yeah, we were dating, and no.
Because we knew that I am the kind of person to get obsessive about things.
Yeah,
and anxious. Somebody asked about the book that I'm writing.
So it's a nightmare for someone who has sensory issues.
I feel like we haven't sat down and done like a Q&A in forever.
Actually, forever. Maybe it
Actually,
hasn't been that long.
forever.
It just feels like that long because we were doing Vlogmas and like lots of vlogs.
I mean, Vlogmas was 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, here we are sitting down. I'm Allie.
I'm Sam.
That's Rosie crying in the back.
Oh
She's
gosh.
probably going to be here in this video crying because she's very upset. She wants to be with the babysitter downstairs. But she's so much love in her heart and it's too much love sometimes.
So we asked over on Instagram for you guys to send over your questions. You sent in a bunch, so let's dive into them.
All right, let's go.
This one is kind of perfect because of what we were just saying about having a babysitter downstairs. What regular help do you have with your house, pets, twins, anything you can't do without?
So since the boys were born, we have had about 3 hours a week of help from a postpartum doula who has kindly still been with our family even though the boys are 16 months. She's amazing. We love her. And then recently we've had a little bit extra help here and there. Like, again, it's just like 3 hours.
When the twins were little, we had an overnight postpartum doula, which was amazing with twins because they were constantly up. We needed to be able to get some sleep, so a few times a week she came and would do like the overnight care. And that was like a must for having twin babies.
It was life-saving, honestly. Well, she was usually here twice a week. Just knowing, like, even if the 3 nights before that or 2 nights before that were terrible, you knew it was going to be her night in a couple nights. And having that in sight, knowing you get like a chunk of sleep was just so good for our mental health, I think.
Yes, to like have that like finish line. We used to have a housekeeper.
A housekeeper?
Isn't that what they're called?
No, a cleaner. We had a cleaner come every 2 weeks after the boys were born, and then we just decided we could do it ourselves.
And it seems like too much of an expense and like we'd rather save the money. Yeah. We have lately been having a dog walker come because they're also a trainer because we wanted the dogs to be able to be trained so we could walk all 3 at the same time. Yeah. Because right now we have to walk them individually just because they're too strong. They get excited together. They want to play on their walk, and we just needed a trainer to help us be able to walk all 3 dogs at once. And guys,
Rosie is she's a special girl. She's very scared. So I don't know if that will continue. It was meant to just be like a training situation so that we could walk the girls. But Elsie's the only one getting a walk.
Because the other dogs won't walk.
And I can just walk
Rosie's too scared. And Lily is too stubborn. And
so I don't know if that will continue. I do have the time and I enjoy walking the girls. So this was meant to be more of like a learning thing for the girls. But unfortunately,
Rosie says no training. Somebody asked, how do we make time for hobbies with twin babies?
Here's the thing. We're lucky that we're both home at bedtime. One of us does the clean. And one of us does the bedtime getting ready. So then by the time the boys are in bed, the house is done, usually.
Sometimes dinner's already done in that period too.
And
the twins are in bed.
The evening. They're always asleep by 7. So sometimes I will go out and do something with friends. Sometimes we get a babysitter and we go out. Most nights you read.
I read, but so do you. You like reading.
I like reading too.
And you enjoy it, and I don't know, you do like him and Ha, you place clothing orders and just browse. You just relax and get your brain calm. And then we normally will sit down after that and watch a show. I do, and most of you probably know, take classes once a week. Right now I'm going to painting classes. This is my 2nd time doing a painting class. I did a pottery class, and basically that started because we knew that I am the kind of person to get obsessive about things. Yeah, and anxious. And that I needed to have some time in the week where I'm away from the twins. Because besides that, I'm with them all the time. Yeah.
Unless I take them out.
Even when the person is taking care of the kids, they're here in the house, like the postpartum doulas or babysitters. The kids are still here. I still see them. And I knew that I needed to break away from them for my own mental health and so that I could see
anxious.
Exactly. So that I could see that they were fine without me and kind of break that anxiety cycle before it even started, because I know how I get, and I see a therapist. We have talked about my issues with anxiety, and know that my anxiety basically tells me that I can't do things, and then I reinforce it by not doing those things because I'm anxious, and it just makes it worse. And then if I show myself that it's going to be okay even when I'm anxious, then it lessens over time. And now I don't worry at all leaving them. I actually look forward to my little lessons once a week.
Yeah.
And it's a nice break. And so you watch the twins during that period, and I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great.
Then Allie goes and gets her extensions
I get
done,
my lashes
her Botox
done.
and her eyelash extensions. Those are your hobbies. That's what you leave the house for.
It's true. I wouldn't say they're exactly hobbies.
I know, that's why
That's all I do though. I don't have a hobby.
You don't have a hobby.
No.
I
like to run. You
go for a run.
I go for a run.
You try every day.
And here's the thing. I did before the snow and the cold came. I would go outside for the run or take like the dogs, because I love taking the dogs out. But now there's snow. And now I don't do the winter.
No, so
we
she
do
runs on
inside in the treadmill. And then once the snow goes, I will go outside again. And that's a hobby.
That is. So basically we just like prioritize that it's important for us to have time by ourselves to do the things that we like in our life.
Yeah.
And not just be moms 100% of the time. Someone asked, do we feel like we underestimated the amount of care that children need?
No. Well, we were au pairs and nannies. So
specifically both for twin boys,
Yeah.
twin boys, but I had 2-year-old twin boys and a 10-month-old that I took care of
Yeah,
full time.
you basically had 3 under 2.
3 under 2, yeah. And you nannied for twin boys too.
And they also had a sibling, so there's 3. And I was also a nanny for 3 infants at different times.
Yeah.
So no, we knew exactly
know.
what it was like.
And it's how we
And
expected.
it's exactly how we expected. Actually, I find it easier than I expected.
Actually, I find
I
it
do find
easier
it
than I
easier.
thought it would be too.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I had received so many messages before the twins were born from people being like, "You're never gonna leave the house
know.
again.
Why do people
You're
say
never gonna sleep again." Like, and then when you're like, "Oh, it's not so bad," then someone's gonna message you and say, "Just wait."
There's so many things that make it easier.
There
Like
is.
we work at home, we're flexible, we obviously make our own schedules. So
We're
like,
not struggling financially.
all
we don't
of
have
that
added stress.
is a huge, like, we're very, very lucky.
Somebody asked about the book that I'm writing.
Oh. Are you going to tell
Someone
us?
asked what it was about.
Okay.
So basically what I'm working on right now is just a book that's probably never going to be published. It's just for myself,
There's
really.
a publisher actually call on Monday.
What?
So we have a meeting coming up next week.
Okay, so basically the book that I am working on right now is about conceiving as a same-sex couple. So it's our story and then also like the options available to same-sex couples. So talking about donor options, using a known donor, using an ID donor, using a anonymous donor, and like how we came to our decisions and pros and cons of everything. And I just feel like there's nothing out there like that. But
Yeah.
mostly I want to be able to remember our experience because everything's a blur kind of, and I don't want it to get more blurry. So I feel like we had such a long conception journey. We did at-home inseminations, we did IUIs in the clinic, we did IVF, we ended up doing reciprocal IVF.
Yeah, I guess we tried a lot of it.
Went through the ringer having our twins, and also things like I-induced lactation. That's not something that's talked about. So I just wanted to have a book out there that talked about all of that and like the early stages of mothering as a same-sex couple. So that's what I'm writing. Will it ever see the light of day?
Maybe.
Probably not.
I never know.
I just wanted to do it for fun and just also to
Sorry.
be like, look, I wrote a book.
Yes.
And check that off my life to-do list.
I think that's cool.
Thanks.
Sorry, I kid.
Okay, someone said you look so perfect together. Do you ever have disagreements?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
every day. Every single day.
I
Right now
feel
we
like-
are having one.
Right.
Rosie, she wants Rosie to go, and I said, she's be so late.
And I'm like, she won't stop crying. She's been crying for an hour and a half.
Okay, don't
And
be
that's how
sassy.
she feels.
Do
about
not.
it. I do feel like lately we have been fighting more, but we are very overstimulated. by having children, toddlers screaming.
Music on. It always has to have music on.
I don't.
And my
always,
ears are bleeding.
The twins like listening to music, and so do I. So when I'm watching the twins, I put music on. But then the twins are also making noise, and the dogs are making noise, and I'm making noise.
I also have sensory issues.
Yes.
So it's a nightmare for someone who has sensory issues.
I have a rash, Wazzy. Oh, you do? Weird. Oh. Sure.
I'm going to change what side of a rash.
Okay. I feel like there's just a lot of things happening. There's a lot of changes in our life, like now navigating having toddlers and work and just a lot of stresses, a lot of things to figure out, and it leads to more chances for disagreements. And it's mostly, honestly, that we're just so overstimulated and done by the end of the day that we just take it out on each other, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And just snap at each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask you something.
No.
Did you just make the dog speak?
Yes.
Was that the dog speaking?
Yes.
To you?
I love my dogs. No, you're not telling them.
Okay. What's the last thing that made you cry?
I think I was given a pin of my animals for my coat. I was given a button with Elsie and Rosie on it, and I cried. So nice.
She liked it too. Oh my God, Rosie!
Would anyone like a GR Golden Retriever? Free? No.
Free?
Free for sale.
No, at least 50 cents.
Okay, 50 cents. No, she's really me.
The last thing that made me cry was the scene in Crescent City 3. Just like a little teary, just a little emotional whenever, I can't tell you the scene actually because it'll be a spoiler. Yeah. But a scene in Crescent City 3. I like bugs.
You love bugs.
I also cry all the time watching the news because it just makes me so sad. I cry like once a day.
She cries all the time and I cry once a year.
Yeah, basically. Are you pregnant again? We get asked this all the time. Specifically, I think because I put on a little weight and I have a bit of a belly. People always ask if I'm pregnant.
It's very bizarre.
I'm not pregnant. Thanks.
And if you did, it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't. I feel comfortable with my body, guys. Yeah. But yeah, people keep asking if we're pregnant. No, we're not pregnant. It's a lot of people in this
that
house.
is a baby in itself.
It is. That's the worst baby. That
honestly, that
takes the most amount of care.
That thing. She's good though.
She's very good. We love our dogs, but
oof, Rosie. She's a piece of work.
Elsie is also a piece of work.
Yeah.
Lily's the only one that's
when you have babies.
Well, in our defense, we had the 5 animals before we had the 2 babies.
We didn't know they were coming.
We also didn't know that 2 babies were.
We didn't know.
No, we had no idea.
We just had 3 animals. 5. We had
5. We had 5 animals.
Anyway,
what are our plans for early learning care? Is how they worded it, like preschool, going to daycare, that kind of thing. So we actually tried to get the twins into daycare. It was really important to you personally.
Well, I just thought like it might be nice for them to be social, but we
tried, and I got us on a bunch of wait lists for when they were 18 months old. That's when we thought like they could go a couple days a week. We have not got off a single wait list.
We do activities, and they are quite social boys, like over the top social. Yeah. And they interact with a lot of variety of people. They
also do have each other.
They have each other, but they also do see like a wide variety of different ages and different people.
Yeah.
So I feel fine about their social interactions.
But also, we couldn't have got them into daycare even if we wanted to. We tried, you were still pregnant, and I got us on a whole bunch of wait lists, and now I'm getting emails because they're 16 months old that there's no spaces available for 18 months.
And I think having been a nanny myself and you, like having even somebody like a few hours a week come to the house, I prefer, I think.
Yeah.
Because I like to be able to be with them. Like, you know, it's nice to be able to be with them. And then if they need anything, I don't know. I think it worked out for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I do already have them on lists for preschools because apparently you have to think of that stuff very early. Like, it's years away still.
Yeah.
And I already have had to think of it and pick the schools and get them on the list and stuff. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
How full lists get. You wouldn't think that you need to think of that when your baby's a year old. It's like, oh, where are they going to go to school? It's crazy. How did your friend circle change after marriage and having kids?
Okay. What do you think?
I don't think it really changed.
I don't think it really changed either. I mean, I think in ways it's changed because our friends have had babies. So like now both having kids is hard to work around.
It's hard to work around nap schedules and like kids sleeping at different times and their routines because different people parent in such different ways, and it's just interesting to navigate it, as in like this is like some people are really flexible, some people are not so flexible. We're not so flexible.
Yeah, like
so
we prioritize
it makes it hard
naps and stuff. So that's really the only thing though. Like for instance, I feel like we have seen my best friend once a month. She doesn't even live in the same city as us since like the boys were 6 weeks old. I've seen her once a month, which is like I went 3 years without seeing her before that because of COVID and stuff like that. So it's funny, like we've seen her way more since having kids.
We're still early on in motherhood. Let's see if this is the same in a bit.
Well, I don't know.
It can also be hard navigating all getting babysitters at the same time.
Yeah, it's harder with the friends who have kids because you have to deal with 2 kids. It's much easier.
We have 2 kids.
Yeah, it's much easier to see friends who don't have kids, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when you were au pairs together, were you dating? And did the family know?
No, yeah, we were dating, and no, neither ever. Well, so we au paired 2 times.
Yes. Let's talk about Australia only.
Australia was right after we met, and
we'd been dating for probably like 6-ish months when I went to Australia, and then you decided you would come too. And oh my gosh, so we nannied for different families, and we just pretended that we were best friends,
and then we just invited them to our wedding.
Well, no, wait. One of
my family.
Yeah,
your nanny dad.
He was picking us up, or picking me up from something, and I didn't know that he was outside waiting already, and I was giving you a kiss goodbye, and then he was there, and we were like, oh my God, what do we say? And we just never said anything and invited them to our wedding.
Yeah, my nanny family just invited them to the wedding, and they were like, oh my God. What?
Could you imagine?
They were shocked, and they were like, I hope that you didn't feel like we wouldn't accept you for who you were. We would have. And I was like, I know, it was just...
We nannied for these families for 6 months.
It was too far gone.
And we were together all the time at each other's houses, and we just couldn't say anything. Didn't they try to set you up with one of the doctors?
Yeah, he was good. I would have, if I didn't have you. He was a nice hot doctor. From Australia.
Oh,
he surfed and stuff. Would have been my perfect match, but I already loved you. I loved you.
I'm not your perfect match?
Well, I mean, was he?
Anyway.
It was very funny. But they know now. Our second au pair family, we au paired together.
Yeah, so they knew.
They knew. Actually, I reached out to them on Au Pair World and was like, I love California. Or I won't say. I love the place that we nanny.
You can say California. People know.
Okay, I loved California. And then they were like, okay. And then there's like, I didn't tell my partner about this though. So I probably can't. And then she was like, why don't you both come? You could both nanny for us. And I was like, really? And we did.
Here we are.
Oh, we're still friends. Yeah. They were great.
They are great.
We loved them. We love them.
So what's the capital of Nova Scotia? It's Halifax. I don't know why you couldn't just Google that, though. Sorry, that was sassy.
Maybe they just wanted confirmation.
Do the boys prefer certain pets?
I mean,
they love all of the pets.
They love all the animals.
Do the pets love them?
No. So, like, their interaction level with the pets goes like this. Rosie.
Yes.
Obsessed.
They interact with
everyone's obsessed.
But that is mostly because Rosie is the most tolerant animal to the twins.
Yeah.
The twins would go to any animal.
They love all animals.
They were trying to kiss Elsie this morning, and Elsie was like, "Get away
from me." We don't let them touch Elsie because Elsie just isn't into it, and that's okay.
She hates them.
But then they love Ferguson. They love Snoopy G. They love
all the animals. The animals just don't. Rosie is the only one that we really let them interact with. Lily's just too old. She's sore. She doesn't want little babies.
And she's tolerant, but it's she's very you never know when it's above all they're dogs. They have animal instincts, even if you're like, oh, it's a golden retriever. Okay, yes, she can snap still. She has feelings.
Especially a dog that's getting old and like she's having trouble seeing.
Yeah,
she's sore. She has arthritis. You just never know how she's feeling, and I want to be very respectful of that for her sake.
And we want to teach the boys to respect animals because for instance, I did not have respect for animals because I didn't grow up I grew up with a dog. My parents weren't really like animal people. I would not have considered myself knowledgeable about animals.
Allie's been bitten by multiple dogs.
Because I didn't know how to read animals' language, body language,
but
or
also
like
you
cues.
didn't teach them with
I was
interact
never,
with them with respect.
Yeah.
And you do like naughty little things like blow in their
Yes,
face.
I was bit in the nose like by a dog, by my grandparents' dog, because I blew in its nose.
And they kept telling you not to.
Yeah. So I had no respect for animals, which is terrible. Now I do, and now I'm happy to teach our boys how to read animals' cues and respect animals. So
and just be like, you know what, Rosie isn't liking that right now. We're gonna leave Rosie.
And they're always supervised with the animals too.
Yes. Thanks for watching. This was a bit of just a rambly Q&A.
But thanks for watching. Yeah. Let's see how my rash goes.
Is it better?
No.
We're gonna keep an eye on that.
It's just contact dermatitis.
Okay.
I'm physician
certified. All right. Thanks for watching. Okay. We'll see you soon with another video.
Bye. We look like twins.
We are twins.
Look at that. That's disturbing. Ew. I just have one more olive skin than you.
If I did my makeup the same colors, do you think we could do makeup to make ourselves look alike?
And then do the same hair and the same outfit.
Yeah.
And do a prank to the TikTokers. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Instead of making ourselves look like twins.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.